Patreon.com/the Walk Off Podcast. $4 a month gets you in there.
If you're watching this right now and you haven't hit the like button, Billy, get on it. Bug your brother. Tell him to do the same.
There is a vocal group of the fan base
Vocal.
who almost celebrates when he has a bad defensive game. And I can't really wrap my head around it. I mean, being on Twitter, of course, and Arden Zwelling, every time he comes on the show is like, Scott, you got to stop acting like the entire Blue Jays fandom is represented on Twitter, because it's not. And that's true. I'm aware of that. But there was a lot of rhetoric towards Bo. He should be playing second base. They should move him to third. This guy is not a shortstop. And to that, I say, I don't know how you think moving him to third or second is going to help with bonehead throws that he shouldn't be making. And that's really what we're talking about here, right? Like, he just, that play in the first where he airmailed it over Vladdy's head, he went deep into the hole. Great, showed amazing range. He probably shouldn't have even gotten to that ball. But like, play within yourself. Nobody would have made that throw and gotten the out. So hold the ball.
Yeah, it's weird though. Like the optics of a shortstop. I can't think of a time I've ever seen any infielder pick up other than like a little soft rolling grounder, right? Like the soft ones where they're running in and they're almost at the pitcher's mound and it took them 4 seconds to get there. You see them eat it all the time. But anything that's hit with any sort of speed and the ball gets there quickly, I've never seen anyone not make that throw. And I don't mean like just throw the ball. It just doesn't have, you don't just see Nolan Arenado make a nice stab at the foul line, scoop up the ball, and then just sit on it and throw it back to the pitcher. Do you? I mean,
I don't know.
He should have just eaten it, but it also would have been like a weird, it is like, goes against the baseball instincts a little bit to be like, this ball got to be quick. But
to quote John Snyder, attention to detail, baby. Like, there is no, like, you just can't convince me. And you are correct. Baseball instincts kicked in there. And I think that's why he made the throw. But he's at a point in his career where he needs to understand his limitations and play within them. You see it from Matt Chapman all the time. You'll see Matt Chapman running on a ball and then just kind of concede, being like, okay, I've seen it several times. Yeah.
For short, slow grounders. Sure.
For sure.
Never for anything that's hit at him hard though.
No, but I mean, that ball wasn't hit that hard to Bo. I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm not letting him off the hook on that one. Like, that was just a bullshit baseball play. It shouldn't have happened. He should have never thrown that ball.
Yes and no. I mean, after watching, as soon as I could tell by the release angle that this was going into the crowd. Right?
Yeah.
Like, and it was almost comical because it was the first inning. It was the first defensive play he had all year. We just spent all off season going Gold Glove season for Bo Bichette, like,
yeah.
So it was funny to see, but I do feel like there's a little bit of Monday morning quarterback going on here where we are able to see in hindsight, of course he shouldn't have made that throw. But if that throw isn't into the crowd, like, that's
all I'm saying is,
I don't know,
making that throw and not making that throw is the difference between a bad defensive shortstop and a good defensive shortstop.
No.
And I truly believe that. I truly believe that Bo Bichette has it within him to be an average defensive shortstop. That was the big prediction I made. I'm like, Bo Bichette's going to take major steps forward defensively, and he's going to be an average defensive shortstop this season, which is going to catapult him into the MVP talks because his offense is off the charts.
Yeah, I guess we also differ on the Springer-Bichette collision, right? Like, and how that went down, right? Like, I want guys that are going for it. I think, generally speaking, and I'll take the lumps when there's a boneheaded throw here and there, or a collision in center field or whatever. Like, I don't know. I want my stars to want to be stars, you know?
I don't think we differ there, but I think that there is some baseball acumen to be used when it comes to stuff like this, and that experience is acquired, and that Bo has enough experience to know when he shouldn't try to make a throw. Like the guy was a
Oh,
quick runner too. The whole thing shouldn't have
sure,
happened.
but okay, we're about to end the show on a high note here with Kevin Kiermaier and the spectacular outfield. We saw a nice diving catch from George Springer, a nice sliding diving catch from Kevin Kiermaier in center field. Like, I want I want my guys diving for the ball. I don't want everybody taking it on the hop. I don't want everybody like playing up soft, and I don't want everybody just like eating the ball every chance they get. I want my guys going for it, man.
Well, I feel like we're saying the same thing. Like I feel like we're arguing, but I'm saying the same thing. Like I want my guys going all out, but use your freaking head. Like there's just some plays that can't be made.
Okay, but let's talk this Kevin Kiermaier thing, and then we'll come back and we'll get back to Vladdy. This is just gonna be a sloppy episode, but Kevin Kiermaier, that like sliding catch in the eighth or ninth, if he doesn't get to that, and that if he misjudges it, lacks the self awareness to hold up and play it on the hop or whatever, and he goes for it but fails, that's a potentially inside the park home run because he's coming in very shallow. That ball's going all the way to the wall. Are
I
we
mean, play
gonna?
the scoreboard. Play the scoreboard. He had to make that catch, or they're up by 2 runs, right? It's the first inning, nobody on, and Bo airmailed it. You can't convince me that was just don't worry about that play. Like, I guarantee Bo got talked to after that and was like, dude,
Yeah, dude, make a better throw, but I still want him
no,
making
don't
the
throw
throw.
it. Don't throw it.
I,
Fuck.
okay, someone in the walk off grounds crew here, find me a clip of any infielder not throwing the ball in that situation. It probably exists. I just can't picture it. I just can't ever picture any infielder physically not making a throw, like holding the ball when a ball was hit. Maybe I'm misremembering this play. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it. It in my head, it feels like a harder hit than I'm expecting, but
I don't know. He
maybe
had to
maybe it was
really
a
run
weird.
deep. He had to run deep towards the third baseline, and like was his momentum was taking him the other way. It wasn't that hard hit. I don't know. I mean, for those of you watching who are looking for this clip, Carlos Correa, look into him.
Does he not throw it a bunch?
He throws it every time that he has a legit opportunity to get an out, but he's not going to airmail it when there's no chance. Like even if he hit Vladdy, dude, even if he literally nailed the throw, it was going to be safe. So why throw it? But
Because
anyways,
whatever. All right, let's talk. You just said Vladdy. Let's talk Vladdy because Vladdy had a good game.
he had a great game. He was one of the dudes where attention to detail actually came into play here. I mean, that grounder he took with runners, I think it was the bases were loaded, right?
I think so.
In the seventh, 1 out, and he took that grounder and he went home with just a rocket. And it was the perfect play. It was exactly what needed to be done, especially after you watched Bo try and turn a double play there, the play before, and a run scored where he could have got him at home. And that was probably the play to do there.
Vladdy has above average arm strength, right? Like that was always one of
Does
the reasons when he was being brought up to put him
that
at
they wanted
third,
him at third.
right?
Exactly.
For that arm strength. So sometimes I think that's a factor in like the disappointment in him playing first is like, oh, we're wasting his arm by having him at first
Hmm.
base. But like, yeah, it was a nice moment that like comes up a few times a month where he's able to, and it's sure nice that he's got a rock of an arm, an accurate arm. Doesn't have
Yes.
the range of Bo Bichette, but Bo Bichette salivates at Vladdy's arm. That's for sure. So
I really think that this is going to be a big year for Vladdy, just as an all-around ball player. I mean, he already won the Gold Glove at first, so obviously he is a bit of a defensive stalwart as it is. But just the addition to the coaching staff of Don Mattingly and the prowess that he brings to playing first base and being able to impart that wisdom on him. I mean, they were showing clips of Vladdy and Donnie Baseball, and they were just attached at the hip, man, all spring training. It was great to see this little relationship developing between the two of them. I mean, Don Mattingly, one of the great hitters of all time,
mhm.
and played an excellent first base. And just to have that kind of experience that a guy like Vladdy can go to, it just increases the um the winning culture
Yep.
on this team.